All right. Hello, everyone. It's Asagi. Welcome to my live stream where we just shoot the shit and just enjoy the vibe. Yep. Today is the end of August in Japan. Can't believe it's August is ending. ねえ。I've got my coffee ready. Congratulations, Asagi and Justin. On what? On what? It feels like a birthday, but... Robert, hello. Do you know anything about black rice? I've ordered some recently, and I really want to learn how to cook it, and I want some ideas. Black rice って What is black rice? I think it's mainly used in Mexico, from my understanding. You know, they put in burritos and stuff like that. We don't really, Japanese people とか Asian people don't really eat black rice. I haven't heard of it. We only have, you know, white rice or some brown rice, yeah. But black rice は I think it's more like, yeah, なんか South American kind of dish to me. But maybe I'm wrong. Alex, hey. Marty, thanks for the super chat already. Hello. Marty. John, hello. Shadow, hey. James, hola. ¿Cómo estás? Ne. Spanish. Hola. Adios? Is that Spanish? Adios? なんだっけ dinero. 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 Black rice is used in a lot of Chinese and Korean recipes. Okay. Haven't really heard of it. Frank, you're on time. Gil, hello. Jasmine rice is nice, but apparently black rice is healthier. Sounds like it. Hey, Marty. Thank you. Never heard of black rice, yeah. Steve, hello. Hola, soy Dora. What does that mean? What type of rice do people use for sushi? I think that's what people call it sushi rice in the US. In the US, they have sushi rice, the type of sushi. So it's type of rice. They call that way. Or I think in a like more general term, it's called Japonica rice. Japonica. Or they call it sticky rice too. Sticky rice とか。Because it's got to be a little sticky to put the rice together into a bowl or the base. So sticky rice, sushi rice, Japonica, either of that. Long grain rice なのかな? Add rice, wine, vinegar. Yes, rice vinegar with a little bit of with some salt and sugar. Yeah, you can make sushi vinegar mixing with rice vinegar, sugar and salt. So yeah. I don't feel I've never tried to make sushi before. I don't feel like I'm good enough as a chef to attempt. I mean, chef is a chef because professional, but you don't have to be like a chef. It's like, so you guys do taco parties, right? Taco parties. You just buy ingredients like lettuce, tomatoes, salsa sauce, and of course the tortilla, and then you put shit in it. Just eat it. Same. You guys can do that sushi party. You guys just bring bunch of nori seaweed sheets, and then put sushi rice and anything like fish, obviously fish, and then roll, and then hey, that's sushi already. It doesn't have to be like chef level this kind of sushi, but we have this sushi rolls, right? We call it temaki sushi. Just roll with the nori seaweed, and then you're good to go. So yeah, don't overthink. It's like taco, easy. Is there a main topic for the stream? We don't. As I said, we just shoot the shit. I mean, as my thumbnail said, it's mainly about, Japanese like cultural topics, cultural differences, or, dating advice. So that's what we usually talk about. And then I almost never talk about American politics. I don't want to. I don't really touch American politics. Yeah. But other than that, pretty much anything. Lone Samurai. For every 3 rice cooker cups, use 1/3 cup vinegar, 1 table, 1 TBL sugar, and 1 teaspoon of salt. Is it true that originally sushi was just random? Sushi is so fun to make at home. It is. Wasabi in the UK is not the same as Japan. I've been told what we had is just horseradish, dyed green, because it's very expensive to get in the UK. I think it's pretty much the same in Japan too. Like wasabi, like real wasabi is kind of expensive, and what you usually get in like cheaper sushi or like that you can get from convenience store or supermarket, those are mostly horseradish, yeah, and mixed, more like mixed with wasabi, yeah. It's not 100% horseradish, but yeah, the same. So it's harsh, right? It's very like strong. But if you go to like nicer sushi restaurant and have wasabi, you can tell the difference, right? They use 100% wasabi, and that it's not that harsh. It's more about maybe a little bit of kick, but it's more about the flavor, not about the crazy spicy thing. So yeah, I really want more people to know that wasabi itself is not like harsh. It's actually very refreshing to have. Daish, Daish, which was the dating app you recommended? OkCupid or Japan Cupid? Depends on what you want, where you are, and まあ、そうね。そうね。When it comes to OkCupid and Japan Cupid, I would say go both. Use both, right? Because OkCupid is more like international app, whereas Japan Cupid is specifically, for people to meet Japanese potential partners, right? So the pool is very small when it comes to Japan Cupid. So using Japan Cupid alone doesn't maximize your chances. It's just the pool is too small. So I would say use both OkCupid. They have different strengths and benefits. And especially if you live outside Japan, using those two would be probably good. And yeah, details or details というか I talk about more on my ebook, Dating Apps and Culture Gaps. The link is in the description, and I talk about what kind of things you should write on your bio, what kind of pictures you should have in your profile picture, and what kind of which app to use, the messages you should send, all the tips is right there. So go check out from the description. False false. You guys have random usernames, I gotta say. I just got back from my first trip to Japan. Woohoo! 2 weeks with friends in Okinawa. I miss it, but I'll be back next summer. Nice. Okinawa ね. Must have been very, very hot though. Okinawa in summer? Oh my gosh. I'm glad you survived the heat. Frank, thanks for the super sticker. Sorry, my AC is kind of old and making noise. Thank you. And Mari, second super chat かな? Thank you so much. I'll catch up the message, but I'll give you sticker for the support. これね。Piggy pills. かわいいっしょ So cute. Piggy in the pill box, pill case, pill container. I don't know what to call it. ね。Lloyd, welcome back. I've heard it's basically the same family as horseradish, but it's supposed to be a lot more subtle. Yeah. The wasabi here is so hot it's inedible. ね. People think wasabi is like extreme, right? But it's actually not. This is something more people should know. Dog. Just back from trip to Tokyo. Oh, you guys are visiting. Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, and Chiba. It was great. Nice. As a Chibanian, I'm glad you enjoyed it. 大阪も行ったんだ。京都。Nice. What did you do? Then I miss Japan too. I'm regaining all the weight I lost overseas and it's challenging. Regaining. ああ、そっかそっか。ね。Yeah, I think people, when it comes to people in Japan, we have more like healthier habits, especially like in the city, people don't use cars, right? So people always walk, use bicycle kind of stuff. And, foods are relatively healthier compared to Western food. So, yeah. What do you think of people going away from America to Japan just to get one onigiri from 7-Eleven? What does that mean? I remember getting a tube of 100% real wasabi. Nice. I personally like the SB basic wasabi better. そうなんだ. I think the S&B は not 100% wasabi. Oh, maybe they have 100% wasabi, but it's heavily like なんだろうね processed. I'm more talking about 本当に fresh grated fresh grated wasabi. Those are so good. Yeah. $1,200 for 500 150 yen rice bowl. 確かに。Mari, I like going to omakase and only use wasabi when the chef says to. Oh, yeah, もうね。Can't go wrong. おまかせね expensive sushi ねえなんか I wish I could eat that kind of sushi. Have I been to that kind of sushi place? Maybe once or twice in my whole life. Usually those kind of like sushi restaurants are expensive and hard to get reservations kind of stuff. So even like locals can't really go there. Wow, that's nice. I went to sushi go round with family, my family and my parents the other day. It was fun. I mean, the quality isn't bad for the um, price, for sure. But I miss proper sushi. I miss proper sushi like that. まあね、with kids, you can't really go into like nicer restaurants or sushi restaurants, especially with like small like toddlers. So we usually go to sushi go round like kaiten sushi, and those are family friendly places. So you know there are other kids like going crazy, like being a little louder, kind of stuff. So we don't really have to be sorry for everyone in a restaurant. So yeah, as a family, uh, as a family, for families, I think that's a good choice. But man, I miss proper sushi with some nihonshu, Adachi, yo yo. What do you think about people getting into different music through anime? I remember, なんかyour questions are like everywhere. Like, hey Asagi, what do you think of this, that, and this, or that? You know? I have to be a volleyball player. It's hard to catch and get back to you, yeah, with every questions, you know what I mean? How do I know if a Japanese woman is cheating? Hold on, different topic again. But anyways, this is more like my specialty, I guess. How do I know if a Japanese woman is cheating on me if she just says that she's my friend, even if we are dating? あんif you guys are dating and she says that she's your friend, then isn't that the answer? You guys are friends to her. It's a friendship, maybe situationship. Friends with benefit whatsoever. You're not official, so you can't even get cheated on. Maybe she's having an affair, like maybe sleeping with people, but also you guys aren't official either, right? She's not cheating on you. You're not making boundaries. You guys haven't even communicated what your relationship means, right? So if she says you're a friend, probably. Maybe you want to be something more than that, then you have to tell her. And then if she says, no, I can't consider you as a boyfriend or someone official, then bye. Go to the next woman. Yeah. Definitely a mismatch happening. Ricardo, what's up? Dog in Osaka near Dontonbori, a lounge was advertised sitting one male with one female. 相席屋かな? 相席屋. But male had to pay by the hour and order drinks, while female was free. Is this type of lounge legit or scam? 相席屋, this is the legit business. It's a chain, I think. If you are talking about 相席屋. Yeah, you can basically like do speed dating in the bar, izakaya. But usually in those places, it's hard to get female customers compared to the number of male customers who are coming in, right? So what they usually do is give women incentive, you know, free drinks and snacks. And yeah, and men have to pay for it. So yes, that's that sounds unfair, but that's the business they have to, deal with. It's if they charge women, um, usually it's gonna be a sausage party. So you don't want to pay for that either, right? And if you are talking about Aesekia, it's legit. It's legit. But can you find the right woman? Or like, yeah, can you find a meaningful relationship from Aesekia? Um, that's that's kind of questionable. That's questionable. So let me explain. Aesekia is very good for Japanese training or basically like practicing talking with women, right? Because it's a speed dating. You don't have to talk with the same women for like few hours. It's probably like somewhere between like 30 minutes or 1 hour maximum. And then you can keep uh, meeting women, like different women. So it's a very good opportunity for you to talk with women in general and uh, try to figure out what kind of topic would Japanese women would be interested in by looking at, by chatting with those women and looking at their reactions, kind of stuff. So, what kind of questions you should ask, what kind of, jokes you make. So, I definitely recommend, if you are practicing Japanese, then that's a best place to practice Japanese language with women, Japanese women, or women in Japan. So I would definitely recommend it for the practice. But if you can, but to find like meaningful relationship, sure, there is a chance, but maybe you also want to go to other places for that purpose. Hero is crying. Maybe you heard it. But yeah, 相席屋、おすすめです。I recommend it. Yeah. I think that's what locals, like Japanese men, do to practice. And yeah, because, other than that, it's hard to find women to talk with for many people. Like with the, you know, you don't want to casually flirt with your coworkers, or you are busy with your work and don't generally have time to, go to like mingling places, right? And then you don't want to do nampa pickup artist kind of stuff. So I think it's a good business when it comes to, giving chances for people to casually chat for perhaps romantic intention, right? Good question. Good question. I like the flavor, but it burns your nostrils. Oh, ne? Yeah. I'll be going to Japan at the end of September. Nice. Looking forward to this trip. So, ne, weather should be easier in the end of September. Anthony, hello. Banana flavored Kit Kat is interesting. Oh, sounds good. Fall. The heat was brutal. Yeah, Okinawa ne. The screen name is a Norwegian word for a paratrooper, like kutedan. Ah, okay. It's a Norwegian language. That's why I can't I can't pronounce it. そうなんだ。kutedan. Paratrooper. へえ。I love 回転寿司. 回転寿司 is fun. Sushi go around, yes. Christian, is it good to approach someone's seller and make friends, then get social media? Seller って何? What's seller? Seller. なんかあれかな? Shop stuffs? That's what you are talking about? Need to be specific. Right? What do you think of people saying Merry Christmas in August? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. He's keeping you on your toes for sure. Yeah. I am one of the few in the chat who never had sushi. What? What? Really? Sushi talk ね. Alaska roll. I don't know that one. Maybe I've had one, but I just don't know. Alaska one. Alaska roll. Sounds like American sushi. But for sure. Alaska roll, yeah. So it's about like places like California roll, Alaska roll. Is there New York rolls or Texas rolls, Florida rolls? Maybe they use gators in the sushi roll. What's dragon roll to you? To me, it's California roll topped with eel. That's the dragon roll? ああ、そうなんだ。ドラゴンロール。eel。そうなんだ。I love the sauce they use on the eel. ああね。like sweet. I mean, it's savory, but kind of sweet and tangy. Yeah, love it too. Especially when I was a kid, that was like super good. Hiro wants Bucky. I have a friend on Instagram and she has a boyfriend, but sometimes she likes to flirt with me. Is that cheating? Depends on like why do you get into that kind of shady relationship and dating? Like go for women who are available, right? Single, available, ready to date someone and get into a relationship. Other than that, it's not worth flirting or pursuing. Yeah. But flirting in the office, huh? How is it HR handled in Japanese companies for the things like that? When it goes wrong, it gets complaints. Usually, nothing. Nothing. It's not like you can just assault women there, but I think many men get away with it in Japan because we don't have like strict rules on that one. In fact, many people get married within like workplace, right? In Japan. It's like second common way to meet spouses in Japan. First one is apps, dating apps or internet is the first, the most common way, but the second common is workplace. So it happens a lot, right? And then companies don't really ban that. And it's hard to judge, right? Like, it's hard to judge when something goes wrong, right? So company, how Japanese people are like, Japanese people don't like confrontations. So, if a person feel uncomfortable with someone, she or he doesn't really raise voice. They don't really raise voices from the beginning. And even if they did, companies less likely to, kick someone out or punish. Yeah. I mean, in this past, like, I would say few years or, well, in this past, like, 5 years, I hear some companies do punish. And yeah, I think I've talked about it, but my former company, there was a guy, and there was cheating couple, right? They were both married, but they were dating in the company, and the female worker's husband reported it to the company, so it got really messy. And yeah, but both of them are still at the company working, and the female one, I guess, the husband didn't want to break up, so they still are married even after cheating. But the other one, the male worker, he had to get divorced with the wife, and then he was sent to another facility, but still hired, right? Still hired. I mean, should be very uncomfortable because everyone knows that, right? Everyone knows that, and should be very, very like uncomfortable to work there. And maybe eventually he will leave the company because so awkward. People give him stinky eyes, but apparently the female worker didn't lose anything. Except for the reputation, she didn't lose much. Yeah. And, I've seen and heard like harassment, and few of them got punished, but most of them just didn't get any consequences. But maybe that was just older generation, because I left my company 7 years ago, and maybe things are different, but I would say it's much, it's much less strict compared to American companies, and how people are not confrontational. Here in Japan, less likely to be like a drama like that. It's subtle. Sure, people will judge you. Uh, you know, your coworkers will judge you and give you stinky eyes, and you probably have to feel very awkward. But there's no you know, like an obvious punishment from company. So yeah, yeah. Like when it comes to like super obvious one, right? Like someone touches her butt in the workplace, or like abused someone by using power, right? That's the harassment. That's like super bad, obvious. And Japan has that kind of regulation. If you use your power to have sex with the, junior or something like that, that's, yeah, they will get kicked out. But those are like super obvious one, easy to judge and punish. But those that are like what you talked about, when someone's dating in the office and then something went wrong and it's actually pretty bad, those are less likely to get punished. Yeah. Good or worse. Better or worse とか。It's hard to say, oh, that's good or that's bad. But if you are the one who suffer, who got like harassed or like, who got harassed or mistreated, and if a company doesn't do anything for you, then you will get frustrated, right? So, yeah. By the way, I'm publishing a new video next weekend, talking about the negative side about working in Japanese company. So if you are interested, please watch it. I'm just finishing up the editing. Her boyfriend's been in prison for tax evasion. She's trying to clear his name, but apart from that, yeah, we are just friends. Yeah. Yeah. Being friendly can be misinterpreted as flirting. Happens to me often. まあそうだね。I think it goes both ways. Some people have just poor sense of perceiving things, like getting hints, right? Sometimes they don't notice at all. Sometimes they overreact. So, yeah, sometimes it's hard to control on your side, right? Pumpkin spice lattes have officially been released in the US. いいっすね。pumpkin spice season. Love it. Love it. I can't eat sushi in the US anymore, being spoiled. It's completely different, yes. We have sausage rolls in the UK. Okay. Not bad. Alligator is deep south US, so it's fried and delicious. Oh, いいんじゃない? Yeah. Okay, I have to catch up a little bit. Have you ever had a puffer fish before? I know they are supposed to be quite poisonous, but it is a delicacy. フグね。As Shadow says, fugu is not poisonous if it's cooked correctly, but that's quite hard. そう、でもany restaurants or chefs at fugu restaurants, they have a special certification to cook or like to cut and properly cook fugu, right? So if you go to a restaurant in Japan, look at certification. They probably have some kind of like certification displayed in their place. Yeah, they must have that certification. So you don't need to worry about it. But yeah, it's not like, I mean, 9900 99% it's fine, but I guess there is like a very few percentage you get poisoned. Non-samurai. Do Japanese women want men to try again when asking out? To me, one no is no. Usually. そうだね。ideally, saying yes to the first attempt is better. that's ideal. But I think what many popular type of men do is that they try again, right? Because they are not afraid of rejections in general. If they think it's worth pursue, they would go for like second attempt or even third attempt and get the girl, you know? So yeah. But I think that's because they know how to do it. It's not like super like creepy that she thinks that she goes to yeah. I think they know how to do it correctly, not to get called to authority. You know what I mean? I think their approach is very casual and has, put no expectation on women. So that's why they can attempt a few times. Like my friend Ryan, right? Ryan is a Cirque du Soleil performer. He's, good looking, super jacked because, he's a circus artist. Very friendly guy. And even he says that now he's married to a Japanese girl who is also a circus performer. When he first approached her, she's Taiko. When he first approached Taiko, he says he got ghosted a few times. He didn't, get response when he messaged her. But he tried a few times and finally she opened up and they are now married, right? So I would say one no is not always no. But yeah, you need to know, you should definitely have to have many practices on Aisekia. And know what kind of, what usually the boundary to women to pursue a few times. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I think it's safe to, back off after the first attempt. But, just my observation is that popular guys do that a few times when they really want that woman. Or casually want to have more sex, because it's a numbers game when it comes to, sleeping with many women. Just attempt many times as possible, and a few women would say yes after being a little more persistent, but like that's not what I recommend for sure. But as long as it's done correctly and if you really want her, yeah, why not? Ask her again. Ask her out again. Mari, thanks for another super chat. Oh my gosh. I have a quite few friends who met their spouses at the workplace. One of the benefits is you can see how they act under pressure. そうね。I will give you a これは将棋 sticker. Thank you. Sorry. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I agree. Basically, you can see how they are in in a social scene, like how he contributes to the team, how he acts, yeah, under the pressure kind of thing. So, and friends, people around him. So you can understand, you can get to know many sides of the person if you meet in a workplace. そうね。So yeah, it's totally understandable that workplace is still a very popular place to meet spouses. Is it true that they still have to have two different types of trains for men and women because of harassment in Japan? It's true. We have women-only cars, yes, on the trains. But it's only for certain hours. Like the rush hour ってなんか rush hour って is that Japanese English? The commuting time usually from 7 to 9 or 10. And some lines have that in the evening too, like 5 to 8 or something like that. Because it usually happens in a packed train, the commuting time. Yeah. A few men think that's women's privilege. They say that, only very, Japanese people who have very misogynic ideas, they say that, but hey, statistics and all the data says that it's usually done by men to women. So having women only car, it's only like 1 or 2 cars of like 10 cars. So yeah. So don't step in accidentally. If you come to Japan, I see like a few men who get lost and very like, oh my gosh, they give the oh my gosh look after getting on the train and the door is closed, right? Oh my gosh, this is strange. Why all the passengers are women? Wow. So yeah, I mean, but yeah, it's sad, but yeah, harassment, sexual harassment on the trains are very common. If you ask Tokyo women or city women, Japanese women, they always have had the experience. They have almost 100%. So, hello. How is it going? 目腫れてる。That's why he was crying.
こうして
You got bruise on your face. Bruise. ガガですね。はい。ガガ Yes. Hi, son. Well, how do you compensate the sleepless nights?
Coffee.
ガガはい。ガガどここれガガね。はい。で、ここでしょ Here you go. Yay, sticker. Nice. Yeah. Last night he started to cry the shit out while he was sleeping. And usually we give him like milk, and then he's fine. Right? He goes back to sleep. But last night he smashed the milk we gave him. It was not milk. But we had no idea why he was crying shit out. He looks like he's in pain or very uncomfortable or something like that. Oh, やめて. And then I just, tried to lay him down. Boop. Yes. You farted. Yeah. Yes. That was a big fart. Like that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, yeah.
You got him started.
Yeah, he was gassy. You were gassy.
そしたらすぐ寝た。
ね。
Right to sleep.
Yeah.
Alright, buddy.
That was the story.
Alright, say bye-bye to chat. Bye-bye.
Yay.
はい、タコ。Don't forget.
Yeah, sorry. He spit it on your name, Frank. Sorry about that. Apologize on behalf of my son. Anyways. Did I give you a sticker for this recent chat, Marty? I forgot. I met my daughter's mother at work. We were together for 20 years. Daughter's mother. まあ、your ex-wife ということ? That's そっか。20 years. Wow. Man, 20 years. Oh my gosh. That's something. Very interesting company story. Yeah, if you want to hear more, check out my next week's video I will drop. USA sadly doesn't have that regulation in many jobs. あ、そうなの? Only like, I guess, white-collar job? Right. なんかね、recently it became quite like a trend that なんだっけ some kind of the president of a company he got caught at the Kisscom at the Coldplay concert. He was cheating with his employee, right? She is also working なんか HR, right? She's HR, and they were cheating. What a silly story, though. If you cheat, go somewhere else, right? That's one of the reasons why we Japanese people we have love hotels, right? I guess it's like motels in the US. And cheating couples go there. They don't go to public places and, cuddle, right? So silly. Not all the president of the companies are wise, you know. Then I'll give you a ow, what? Give you a gaga. Frank, thank you for the super chat. How's our old mate Ashton doing? Ashton ね。Ashton ね、want to make him come back. Well, looking for the topic. I'll be going to Japanese language school in Fukuoka next spring. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, nice, nice. 福岡ですね。Most certified chefs are just people who are good at hygiene. まあね。Ashton is quite a ladies' man. I guess so. Tiago, hello. About dating, I am afraid of being rejected, very afraid. So if a girl says no to me, I won't ask her out again. That's fine. When I was in Japan, I felt like women are very friendly, not flirtatious. まあそうね。I think some women are aggressive, but usually hints are very subtle. Even if when she is flirting with you. Yeah. かな? But nobody wants to get rejected, right? But if you want to be successful in dating, you should understand, you should recognize rejection as part of it. You know what I mean? I think some people can, find someone without getting rejected, but most of the times it's not, even for women, right? I mean, maybe women don't get rejected from the beginning, but I think it's a different story from men. Men get rejected from like at the beginning, right? But when it comes to rejections, women get through is more like being nani? Friends with benefit, situationship, dealing with guys who are like, oh, I'm a free spirited, I don't want to put label on it kind of man, right? It's a part of like rejection when it comes to, men. ね。One major problem I encountered using dating apps in Japan was women's requirement to live nearby. While the women are pretty with good bios, they are not willing to move out of Japan. そうね。But I think depends on, I don't know what kind of apps you were at, but women who are on international apps are like tend to be more adventurous. I think there are tendencies, right? And timings, I guess. Like young women tend to be more adventurous. Don't mind moving to another country because they are young. But like women in their, I would say, 30s, they are more like they have built something in their countries, like in Japan. They build career or friend circles and all that kind of stuff. And maybe some women, like more women who are like 40s or something like that, they like they are at the point where like why what am I gonna do with the next half of my life, right? I'm 40, I have, maybe I've built a career, maybe I raised a kid or two, and already they are like, you know, becoming an adult. So what I'm gonna do in the next half of my life, and then choose to go to another country とかね。So I think timing affects, age affects, and the political situation in the US affects. Like, so if you are, American, right now it's hard to convince a woman to move to your country because all the things happening recently in the US, right? The green card is getting harder and harder to get. So, yeah. そうだね。But yeah, there are some women out there who are willing to take risks if you are good enough to take risks, Yeah, many なんだろうね many aspects. So I guess you should just keep looking. Oh, Lloyd, bye. Money. I was learning to the train and got on the closest car, which happened to me a pink car, so I quickly left the car into the next. そうあるよね Yeah, that happens. I recently changed my job from US company to Japanese company. Could you let me know how to maintain English speaking skills? I recently changed my job from US company to Japanese company. Like, you are not like native English speaker and afraid of like losing your English skill? ちょっとわからないです。Asagi has the video about harassment on train. I've caught a I would say harassment. That was not on the train actually. That was at the cafe even. But yeah, I actually have caught it with my camera. So yeah, it's in the past video. Yeah. Was I mean, I knew it's gonna be like controversial, and the video is actually demonetized because of the topic. But I thought I would just publish because that's what many Japanese women get through, right? It was obviously like at the cafe. He was sitting next to my table, but it's not like it's not even like train. We have space, right? We have a space between my table and his table, but he just sit right next to me on purpose, and then he was he put his legs under mine. You know what I mean? I was sitting and then he was here and then he was putting his leg under my legs. It was creepy. I mean, no, he was, he didn't touch my boobs or hips or anything, maybe, but still creepy AF. It is a harassment, right? But people are like, oh, it looks like it was just an accident. He didn't do that on purpose. He just, maybe he just didn't have enough space. No, he did have space for himself. But yeah, some guys just don't want to admit, right? But yeah, he just wanted to make friends with you とかね like super silly comments. Yeah, but yeah, that was creepy, super creepy. Felt unsafe. Very scary. Yeah. Hirozira, Justin, yes. Party bum, yes. Party bum. Half my life with her, right? Nah. But you don't regret, right? I see some people are afraid of getting married because of, right? I mean, divorce rate is not low anywhere in the developed countries. And there are some horror stories, of course. But I think overall, it is a good experience, even if you get divorced at the end of the day, right? To me, it's rather just being just myself for the rest of my life, right? I mean, you can disagree with it, but you know, yeah, just but you have to be mindful too, right? Of course, there are some like super horror stories, both from men and women, and you have to like, of course, you have to choose the person that less likely to happen, right? Or you should really look at how he is, how she is before you get married. But I think it would be a good experience for most of the people. Makes you stronger, and the time you would spend with the person would be good. Most of the time, not all the time. I wouldn't say all the time, but like in Frank's case, he's got daughters, and he had good memories with as a family, even though he's divorced now, right? I think that's most of the cases. If you choose the right person, right? Of course, you can't get married to abusive partners and expecting them to change after marriage. That's not the case. That's usually not the case. So you really have to judge before getting married. But you know what I'm trying to say? So I hope more people like not afraid of commitment so much. なるほど、社長 are smart, right? Having an affair at Coldplay is a bold play, for sure. That's bold, yeah, bold play. Yeah, yeah, nice one. I like that. David, sorry for catching up a little late, but thanks for the super chat. As always, appreciate the support. ね today, what can I give you at this point? You've got so many, all of my stickers, right? The new ones, the old ones, special ones. So, もうあれかなじゃあ、餃子。Dumpling. Thank you so much. Where is sure? Miss my mate. So I think he was here last week. And then last week you came late. だったような. I think it was like that. I remember getting rejected a while ago. It stung, but women were nice about it. That's nice, that's nice. Now I hear that women are mean and post it on social media. ああ、はいはいはいはい。まあね、girls talk about it. So I think that's why if you are a beginner, especially, don't go for women who are at your work or classmates, like community situation, right? Because it gets awkward. Women talk about it. That's women. That's women. Women talk about it. Oh, 何 the samurai samurai approached me, asked me out the other day. I really don't have feeling for him. I had to say no. Women talk about it. That's what it is. So I would recommend starting from places that like flows. The not all not the same people all the time. You know what I mean? Maybe bars. Some kind of party someone threw. Like Japanese classes that always people changes, like member changes, or even dating apps, right? Online dating apps. You don't have many friends in common in that situation. So women cannot talk about you or post it social media. Maybe they do, but less likely to hurt your reputation or anything. Yeah, right? So yeah, start from there if you are really afraid of rejections or women. Talk about it out loud. If someone offered me money, I would move. まあね、usually people move to the country というか、the partner who earn more, right? If one has to move. If you start from long distance, yeah. I feel like the only reason why people don't move to another country, man or woman, is because of money and family. If neither didn't matter, people would just move. まあ、あとはでも、ラングエッジとかじゃない？ラングエッジ。If you come to Japan, you have some level of support, right? Some people speak English. Some, like, many signs are in English. But when it comes to Japanese people to move to the US, almost no support, right? So you have to be the support all the time. And that also causes stress to couples, international couples. If you have someone over your country, it might sound like easier. When it comes to just relocating, you don't have to relocate. That's, yeah, there's that. But also, you have to support so many things. Like, usually she or he can do anything in their country, but once they move to your country, they don't have an ability to do so. Not anymore. So you have to kind of like babysit your partner, like being a secretary of your partner. That is frustrating to both of you. Like, you have to do many things for her. You have to, take care of her so much. Even like things you don't like to do, like paperwork, things like that. And she is frustrated because she could do that in her country. In Japan, she could do that totally fine, but she has to rely on you all of a sudden after relocation. And I think a lot of relationships come to an end because of that after the relocation. Or by having a partner who is from foreign country, don't have much ability to do things by themselves. So you have to be prepared for that. Like, either when you move to Japan, that happens too. You are the one who cannot do anything. Like going to the city hall always with your partner とかね。Yeah, like can't even pay like gas bill or something like that. And then you have to ask her to call the gas company とかね。That's very like likely to happen when someone relocate for their partners. What if the country where you ask the Japanese woman to move is not America? 結構まあなんか foreigner friendly countries like Canada, Australia, European countries. まあね、まあ recently, but things have changed. Especially in Europe, there are some anti-foreigner people too, but like America is like particularly なんか people are loud about it, right? And then the rules and punishment is becoming strict, so I think people are afraid of it. Like many Japanese women are taking what many Japanese women nowadays are taken to the separate rooms at the airport nowadays, right? Especially, when Japanese women go to America by themselves, they get like なんだっけ investigation? And they are taken to like a private room at the airport and get investigated from a very, very intimidating officers. And people are very afraid of visiting the US these days. Not just women, but yeah, especially women. Because when it comes to women coming into the US, right, it's often they often suspected that, either sneakily moving to the US or work in the US or doing some kind of like sex work. And they question all the things about it. Like, yeah. ね。だからね、結構ね、yeah, scary. Visiting Japan, visiting America as a woman these days are very scary. Especially when they say, "Oh, I have a boyfriend in the U.S. That's why I'm visiting the U.S." Oh, private room. You're coming to private room. Are you trying to sneak in to his house and stay over the time? とかね。Is your boyfriend even real? とかね。Where does he live? Do you have any intention to marry him? Where did you meet him? Like all the details, right? Are you working? Are you intend to work here? Super investigation. So, even visiting you as a boyfriend is a big risk for her nowadays. そうそうそう。なんですよ。だからね。It's sad, but I think it's making long distance couples difficult, even more difficult these days when it comes to American Japanese couple. Yeah. I think if you are married, it's not much of a risk, and if you travel with if she travels with you and going to the US, visiting the US, it's not much of an issue, seems like. But when it comes to her visiting you by herself, most likely get sent to the private room. So that's Japanese women's POV, right? That's what we hear and see nowadays. なので how can you protect her from all those authorities? Yeah, that's creepy. Yeah. Not a good way to flirt, for sure. Yeah. Chikans are creative. Yes, Frankie. Yes. They're so freaking creative. I would say sneaky. So sneaky. Those bastards. Like, I think many women, every woman in Japan would agree. When, like, molesting on the train, when that happens, it's most likely not up here, but, butt. Yeah. I mean, no joke. I'm serious. It's most likely down here, like either legs or hips or between legs kind of stuff, because you can do that sneakily, right? If you try to touch someone's boobs, it's it's obvious, right? But if it's down here, and then they usually touch with here, not here, but こうやって because it's sneaky. It makes it make it look like they are not touching on purpose. it was train was very shaky, so it accidentally touched on woman's hip, right? That's the most common way to do chikan. そうね。And there are, even more creative things happening here and there. You might hear stories from women. So, yeah, creative. It's creepy, even very creepy. If you get on the same train every day for commuting or something, pay attention to some men, right? Some men always take behind women passengers. Stand behind women passengers. Always expecting trains to shake so they can accidentally touch woman's butt. Probably with here, right? もう those are like doing it all the time. Not just once or twice, they are doing it every morning. Because if it's just accident, they can easily get away. And it usually happens when they get off the train, right? Yeah, when they get off the train, it's the most common, That's the most common way because they can just disappear if they leave the train. When they leave the train, right? So very sneaky, creative bastards. Anyways, Frederick, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it. How's it going? You are awesome だって. Thank you. You are awesome. Frederick. Thank you so much. It's hard to explain, but it just feels right when you find that person. Easy, natural. Oh, so now, yeah, I understand. Yeah, the feeling. Yeah, it's such a mistake to date at work. My risk is always there. Yeah. There. I don't date my female coworkers even if I happen to have a lot of common with them. That's safe. Maybe ask her out when you leave the workplace とかね。なんか if you changing job and leaving the company とかね。I think that's more of it. But yeah, these days, dating coworkers is not the first option you should go for, I guess. Chikan must be traumatizing. As men, we can't fully imagine what it's like. Yeah, even men get that. でも、it's much more likely women who get through. Master Big Black Tyrone かな What's up? It's not just rejection, it's when you do get together and it falls apart a year later. But that's the beautiful thing. Don't you think? Sure, breakup hurts. But I think that's also a beautiful thing about life. I take that way. I've been through many breakups in the past. And I would say only one of them were something that I wish that didn't happen. But the rest of the breakups, it's kind of like a bittersweet memory to me. Sure, it was sad. It was heartbreaking. But also, I am where I am right now because of those experiences. You know what I mean? And then at the end of the day, you will find the right person after those experiences because you learn from those experiences and failures, breakups. Right? I've had many breakups and learned something, and I found Justin. Justin had relationships, both an American woman, Japanese woman, got through breakups, and then he found me. And that is, I think, the beautiful things about life and our relationship. I think if this was our first relationship with, like, relationship in general, or first relationship as an international couple, it might have be different. It was probably different, you know. It was definitely not smooth like butter, like we are right now. Yeah. So yeah, that's my take. But what about yours? It's hard enough to get a job here. The jobs and visas make it almost impossible. I would move to Japan tomorrow if it were simple. I mean, if you're talking about a job that pays as much as, the current job in the US, or like white collar job, it's hard to get that kind of jobs in Japan as a foreigner. I agree. But you can get a job. English teacher. Easy. It's hard to get rejected. Oh, if you are a foreigner, English speaking foreigner, native. But there aren't so many jobs as a Japanese person in the US. Maybe start from sushi restaurant とかかな? Sushi restaurant. Cafes, Starbucks. But I think English teachers have more incentives than Starbucks staffs in the US. Just saying. So I think, both sides, when it comes to jobs, both sides have something, you have to start from something. Maybe not from Google. You can't just work at Google from the beginning, but you have to start from somewhere. English teacher, convenience store staff, sushi restaurant, waiters, right? So, yeah, I guess that's the downside about relocating. But if you have the right person, I guess that's not like sacrifice. I work at a nightclub and always support the Japanese girls who enter in. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Japanese women need that. Yeah. There's a guy who lived and died in Japan and he knew no Japanese. So, oh yeah, it's possible to live in Japan without knowing Japanese. Yes, it is actually possible. You can't experience fully, but you can definitely live here without knowing Japanese, to be honest. That's not what I recommend, but yeah. Interrogated. Yes, yes, yes. それです。But I don't think you would get that if you visit Japan, right? Unless you have some kind of white powder with you, you don't get sent to the room and interrogated. But when it comes to Japanese women visiting America these days, it happens many times. That's part of American immigration policy, but it's not a thing everywhere. I came in at trying to sneak into his house. I am going to need to rewind a bit. そうね、ちょっと。There's a large Japanese community here in Australia. In general, people are accepted if they try to assimilate. そうね、オーストラリアは Japanese friendly だね。Talking about American immigration policy even with just temporary visitor. It is, I think it's more because temporary visitors. And they are afraid of those temporary visitors stay over time and sneak in the country, right? It's easy to see a big boyfriend. Japanese people aren't considered problematic migrants. I think when it comes to, yeah, they actually see your like, well, nation, right? And if it's like, I don't know, Mexican とかさ、those people from those countries are probably easier target for them. And Japanese people are not the top like suspicious people, I guess. But even we, even Japanese people, Japanese women get picked up these days. Tells you something, right? I think it used to be not like that, right? But these days, yeah. Sorry about your chicken problem. That really sucks. It does. It does. When I was a child, I accidentally did chikan. Okay, I thought the lady was a mannequin and pulled on and played with the skirt. Then she suddenly turned around and looked down at me. Poor kid, though. ねえ、キッズはね。Kids, you were just a kid. Is that where them Japanese porn websites be getting their material from? そうですね。Yes, yes. I'm glad my girls don't have to deal with chicken. If they did, I'd be going everywhere with them. Yeah. Maybe you'd get arrested. But yeah. Thomas, hello. Number one wants to be an English teacher. It's so stereotypical. Number one? Very used to rejection. Just laugh at it now. Cool, yeah, that's the spirit. I think the days of do you speak English? Yes, here is a job are ending now. Also, it's been like that for over a decade. I do not want to teach English to other people's children. Any way to teach English to adults? あるんじゃないなんか英会話カンパニーとかね。 Not school, but 英会話 like for adults. Yes. 大し I heard Japanese make fun of English teacher and view them as failures. Who said that? マジでそうっすか I mean, depends, right? It depends. Like if you're saying like you are 40 and you've been doing LT, like assisting teacher for like 15 years, then people would probably like look down on you because you haven't made so much progress, right? So I get that. But everybody has different stories, right? I mean, if you are like having your own eikaiwa school or something, then you're a business owner. People don't really look down at you. Or maybe you are hired a big company, like non-English teaching company, but teaching there, like maybe teaching Toyota employee English とか、あとは maybe working at college とかね。You can step up even within English teaching job. And yeah, you know. And then I see many foreigners, like English teachers, raising family. So apparently they are successful enough to date and get married and even procreate, I mean, produce family. So, like, what's the point? Maybe some people look down on you because of your job, then, but they're not worth your time or attention, right? And many people also respect your job. So, choose those ones. And there are many, you know. I watched a video from rural Japan with the Aussie guy saying the government are making it much more expensive to buy business for foreigner in Japan. そうなの? How to get close with Japanese girl? Have things in common. 何? Be approachable? Like, なんていうの? I forgot how to say it. But I would say be a goof so you look more approachable. かな? I got offered a job as a head bouncer at a nightclub in Tokyo. I'm thinking about it. Nice. US citizens in Japan have limited opportunities. However, Japan women have equal opportunity for jobs in USA. I doubt it. With larger salary, if woman is professional in Japan, she will do better in USA. Maybe there are regions like that. まあ if you まあねI mean, I myself attempted to work in the US. It was a long time ago, but man, it was hard. Like, I need visa first, but nobody sponsors visa, right? If I don't live in the US. But well, okay, I guess you are saying that if she get married to you and come to the U.S., she has a spouse visa, maybe green card, then yeah, yeah, that sounds more makes sense. That sounds more makes sense. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But if she's single and not married to you and want to get the job first, then the situation is very much different, right? Nobody would give Japanese woman a visa, working visa, if she is not even in the US. It's very less likely, I think. If she's like a sushi chef or something like that, that's different. But normal jobs, hell no. It's not easy at all. So what Japanese people usually do as uh single and no spouse, and they usually come with なんだっけな they usually come with like H1 だっけ N1 visa H1 visa and then start from like coffee shop, right? Or come as a student and then work hard to find a job during the student time or like limited working visa or something. And then they maybe manage to work in the US long term, right? But it's very high bar because again, US companies usually don't sponsor visas to foreigners who don't live in the US, right? So, yeah. But yeah, if you have a spouse in the US, that's a different story. So, I guess if you want to have a woman over to the US, you have to get married to her first. And yeah. Or, well, you sound like you are affluent enough to have a housewife or woman who doesn't have like like fancy career. So I guess that works too. So you just gotta find a woman who want to get married to you. That, そうね。Joe, thanks for the super chat. Number one is short for no one か。あ、no one ね。ナンバーワンだと思った。no one ね。But can mean number one, I guess. Yeah, yeah. ね、あと、Thomas, thanks for the super chat. Why are Westerners enchanted by Japan and Asia? Asia. Okay. Thank you, thank you. Can I say my opinion on this one? Why are Westerners enchanted by Japan and Asia? Asia. I think. You're gonna hate this idea. You're gonna hate this idea. I think it's because American とか Westerners these days are too entitled. So I'm not talking about this, people are watching Asian porn or things like that and fetishizing Japanese women or something like that. But I'm not talking about that, but I guess Western people in general who want to date like Asian people, and especially I guess Western men want to date Asian women. I think US or Western people are very, very, very entitled these days. Their entitlement sometimes, many times, surprise me. Both men and women, right? Women are being like, oh, my partner should be like this and this and this and that. Like have to make six figure, have to ride this kind of car, but and still treat me like a princess, like yada yada yada, right? Super entitled. And I mean, some many U.S. or many Western men are like that too. Like, oh, my future wife has to, have no job, no education. It's like such a bizarre kind of entitlement I see here and there. And then people are arguing and fighting over something all the time these days, especially these days. Like men and women are fighting, なんだっけ、Republican and なんだっけ、other parties, supporters fighting, I don't know, white people and colored white people and なんだろうな other ethnicities fighting, right? Like it could be anything. It could be anything. Anything like I don't know, maybe politics, maybe like anything, right? Any small things. People are arguing. And then people are so entitled. Like, my opinion matters the most. I am the right person, but the others are all wrong. なんだろうね。なんか、entitled. And compared to that, Japanese people or like Asian people in general, they're not that entitled, right? Like, especially when it comes to Japanese culture, we care more about like groups, community, not the individuals, but the community. Group mindset is still a thing. And I think people still respect other people's opinion or try to cope with the others without like fighting, right? And that, especially for men, looks more like ideal as a partner. Because they want to feel more like a leader of the relationship. And then if a woman is super entitled, it's kind of hard to take the lead. And then yeah, and then they want to date Asian women for more like peace. No fighting, just peace. That's what I think is the reason that some men are, like many Westerners are hyped to date Asians. I mean, yes, you can definitely disagree with it. That's what I thought about it these days. Because, yeah. Preach! People are living in America, the smart ones. It has become depressing in the US. The government has become an embarrassment. まあ、もうね、まあ、Japan has that in a certain extent too, though. I get it. I get it, though. Maddie, wow, thanks for another super chat. I saw a chikan getting yelled at by a blonde lady at the Shibuya station. Her Asian friends were glaring at the guy. I was kind of hoping she would hit him. So, okay, cheers to that. Thank you, Marty. So many, so many stickers. Thank you. Best way to get close to Japanese girls is work at a New York City nightclub. あ、そうなの？まあ、ニューヨークね。まあ、they have Japanese population and yeah. People used to be mesmerized by America because there were tall buildings in New York. おー、確かにね。My reasons for liking Japan have since evolved beyond anime over time, but that's what started for me. Yeah, that's common and totally fine. America used to be cool. I mean, America is cool. I still like America. I like visiting America. And I like American people. Obviously, I'm married to an American husband. But I just don't feel safe if I imagine living there. It was hard to get a Japanese girlfriend. I mean, getting a girlfriend isn't easy in general, though. I'll tell you why I love a Japanese woman. They know how to treat a man for real. They sweet, they feminine, and they don't try to outsmart us. I think that's what I'm kind of saying, you know, entitlement, right? The I think those Western women you are saying is that women who are super entitled, right? Don't you think? It's not even like feminism or women's right, women power. No. Women who have power can be modest, right? It's not even that. It's just many women in the US are entitled, super entitled. Then that's why you feel like Japanese women are like more kind, like feminine kind of stuff. Don't you think? Entitlement. I'm talking about culture and history. Okay, that's not the answer you wanted to hear, I guess. Mari, thanks for oh wow, another super chat. Thank you. Japan was not the first Asian country I visited, but there was something about Japanese ladies that clicked with me. Oh. Thank you, なんだっけ、ピポザルなんだっけ、エイプエスケープですね。はい。そうそう、でもまあ、when it comes to, まあ、going back to Thomas' question, I think more American people, I guess, like I see type of people who come to my channel who are interested in Japanese culture, right? They are like, so I think American people back then are super proud of America. And then like 80% of the people don't even leave US in their whole life, right? Don't even visit other countries because they don't think that's necessary, right? America is the number one country, super awesome, super cool. There's no need to look at other countries or culture. That's the people, American people back then. まあ、Western people かな in general. And they weren't so interested in Asian, like Far East culture because they think, まあ, maybe they feel like Asian countries are inferior to America とか、まあ, European countries or something like that. So they didn't really care. But these days, まあ, Western economic has been a little unstable, very unstable. And then many, issues, political issues and stuff like that coming up. And then people were like, maybe, like younger generation, be like, maybe America is not that cool. I don't feel super comfortable living here. I want to explore other country and culture, right? And then people, and then, with that opportunity, K-pop showed up. Right? Or like anime has been always popular, but more people, not just otaku, more people start to watch anime, Japanese anime. More people got interested in like Thai food, Vietnamese food, and things like that, right? So I think, yeah, better or worse, people start to appreciate like other culture. Western people start to appreciate other cultures, right? Isn't that what's happening? Preach. Very combative society. Oh, that's how you guys say combative. Social media made our relationships worse on a societal level. まあね、ソーシャルメディア、ソーシャルメディアとかね、COVID とかね、もういろいろあると思うけど、there are many reasons? People live in different realities and now no one can get along. That's so true. Yeah, that's so true. People here have an absolute need to be right. そうそう、それそれ。それそれ。Oh, David, welcome back. Peace is wealth. そうね。When you said the word peace, you got a peaceful look. Yes. So a desire to conform? Peace. Or maybe understanding that the merge of civilization isn't all about you, the individual. Frank, thanks for the super chat. Super sticker か。ね。じゃあ、cat かな。Fortune cat for you. Can I get a sticker just for being badass? I wish, but I want to be fair to, people who send me like supports like super chat, so I can't do that. Sorry. I live in Hawaii. Heard that place has a large Japanese population. Yeah, definitely, right? Like 2世とか3世とか。The problem with America is lack of hierarchy. This results in people constantly testing each other. Oh, interesting. 確かにね、なんか I think it's kind of like Buddhism tell us like admire elderlies とかね admire older people とかね but there are hierarchy which I'm not a big fan of but I guess in a way that creates kind of like order and peace in our society. That's an interesting point. It's extreme. It's extreme feminism. Yes, and so I'm all for feminism, right? But those people you are saying, extreme feminists, like feminazis, right? I think those are the people who are too entitled, right? They are using like by the name of feminists, feminism. They are just being entitled too much. Don't you think? Also, red pilled guys. Those are like men who are super entitled. Women should be like this way, this way. Shouldn't give them a right, right for the education. They just obey men. Like what kind of entitlement is it? Right? No. Entitlement 100% correct. Humble is most beautiful. Yeah, that's what I feel like it. Like, yeah. I prefer peace. Right. I have things what I need to say, but and I usually do when I feel like it's in the right place. But I rather not to say my opinion if that kind of like ruin the situation, ruin the community and stuff like that. You know? I was interested in Far East culture when I was a kid. We've been in the library reading about mythology and history. That's cool. I think big reason a lot of people didn't leave America because it's massive. It's like the size of Europe. So now, massive and surrounded by 2 oceans. まあね、so as Japanese ね。まあ、Japan is an island even. No connecting countries around us, so まあね。まあ、geographic reason. But まあね、also massive ね。America is massive. Yeah. Marty, thanks for the super chat. My first trip to Japan was not planned. I was visiting a friend in Hong Kong and she suggested we go to Tokyo where I met a few of her friends. Sounds great. Yeah. And then you discovered this island, Japan. Marty, thank you so much. So many stickers for you. Wow. I'm almost running out. Frederick, thanks for another super chat. Wow, big one. I'll give you a ramen. Pork ramen to Frederick. Thank you. And David, oh my goodness. Take my sushi badge. Thank you so much, everyone. That's a great wrap up for the live stream and the last live stream of August. Thanks so much. Thanks for being you, David. Thank you so much. Appreciate your support. そうね。Yeah, yeah, thanks for joining the stream. It was a great conversation, very fun. Some of them are very meaningful, I think. I hope you enjoyed it. Oh, Frank, birthday month is over. あ、そっか。Happy birthday. Did I celebrate you? I hope I did, but yeah. そうね。September is coming. I guess for you guys, it's more like back to school kind of season. And to be honest, I didn't expect so many people to come even today and getting so many supports like this. So I really appreciate it for you to coming to the live stream in such busy season. So yeah, I'll be on the live stream next Sunday. So next Sunday. So I will see you there. Have a good day, good night.